Hey you guys, I'm back again. I wanted to do some more answering questions from people, questions that I get in my inbox. Where do I get my protein? Where do I get my iron? Where do I get my calcium, vitamin D, and B12? So let's start off with protein. I want to talk about spirulina. Spirulina is a blue-green algae, something that I've used for a very long time. It actually grows in the warm lakes of China, Australia, and Hawaii. It's a complete protein and very high amounts. It's very green. So just a pinch of it will turn your water like dark green. That's just how potent it is. It improves cellular recovery, function of the body, and is great after a workout. So after you've done that workout and you've torn those muscles and things like that, you can actually make you a shake with spirulina added, and it will actually help in repairing those muscles. It has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties in there. So in talking about protein, I just want to say, do not overdo your protein, right? That is the biggest question that people ask. Well, where do you get your protein from? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't know if many of you guys know, but an overabundance of protein makes you deplete your calcium, right? So, during that time when you saw a lot of athletes and they were breaking their bones like very easily, and they're having all of these different tears and things like that, what's happening is that when you have too much protein, your body has to compensate for that, and you deplete your calcium. So it's actually like when you go to the bathroom and pee, you're actually peeing out your calcium in the toilet. So, for all these years, they've been telling people, oh, we need to, our protein and this, that, and the third. But not only too much protein is causing, you to deplete your calcium, but it's causing all sorts of other deficiencies in your body because it's too much, and your liver and your kidneys cannot process all of that. So let's talk about how much protein is in spirulina. So in 3 tablespoons of spirulina, you will have actually 12 grams of protein. Now that's a lot. So just 3 tablespoons of spirulina will give you 12 grams of protein, and it's plant-based. So that's the best thing about it. You can also get, and you can get spirulina from Whole Foods, probably Trader Joe's. They have it in powder, they have it in tablets and things like that. I'm actually going to be adding that to my smoothie as a source of protein for my shakes. So beans. Beans are an excellent source of protein as well. Edamame is probably one of the highest. Half a cup of edamame will give you 13.5 grams of protein. We can get protein from nuts. Almond butter will give you 3 tablespoons of almond butter will give you 7 grams of protein. And you can get the almond butter from Whole Foods and other health food stores like that. So let's move on to iron. Okay, a lot of people are tired, and iron deficient and things like that. So what you've been told the most of the time is that you get your iron from eating meat, eating animals or whatever. So, but my question to you is, where do you think the animals get their iron? They're getting it from the green leafy vegetables. And one of the components, or what can I say, in the green leafy vegetables is chlorophyll. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of chlorophyll. Just like spirulina, some of these things may be foreign to you. So I want to introduce you to chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is the green pigment found in plants that helps plants absorb light from the sun. So I'll say that again. Chlorophyll is the green pigment found in plants that helps plants absorb light from the sun. With the chlorophyll, it will give you an increase in blood production. It helps with anemia. It helps with normal blood clotting. And it's full of a lot of antioxidants. It also aids in detoxification of the body. So when you're drinking, like I actually put it in my water, like chlorophyll water, and because I don't take iron pills, but I actually put it in my water, and putting it in your water will help you detoxify your body. It will give you more energy. And how it's giving you more energy is because it's building up your blood cells and is, giving you oxygen to your blood, right? So you can get that also from Whole Foods, chlorophyll. And also it's very good for arthritis and fibromyalgia. So let's move on to green leafy vegetables, where you can get your protein, of course. Your iron, of course. And that is kale, spinach, spinach, Swiss chard, collard greens, and prune juice. Those things are very high in iron, so you can get them from any store. Swiss chard, a lot of people haven't heard of Swiss chard, but when you make your greens and things like that on Sunday, that's something that I would definitely add to my greens. You know, your kale collard green mix, put you some Swiss chard up in there. Let's move on to calcium. So if you don't drink milk, lots of people like, well, where do I get my calcium? Okay, so where you get your calcium from is almonds, right? Almonds have 343 milligrams of calcium in there with a certain cupful. You can get your calcium from flax seeds. You can get your calcium from figs, collard greens, turnip greens, kale greens, broccoli, butternut squash, okra, and white beans. White beans, I first learned about white beans when I used to go to the Nation of Islam, and they used to make navy bean soup with white beans. So those beans are very high in calcium. So you've been told a lot of times that we get calcium from cows, right? Or the cow's milk, or whatever the case may be. But where do you think the cows get their calcium? All of the things that I said before. A cow is naturally a vegetarian animal. So if the cow is eating all of these things and the calcium is plentiful in the cow, then skip over the cow, go ahead and get you some plant-based foods, and then you won't have to add to yourself the mucus causing agents, the allergies, the eczema, and all the other things that come along with eating dairy products. Let's move on to vitamin D. So vitamin D is very important for bone health, immunity, blood sugar control, and cardiovascular health, right? So when you go to the doctor and get your blood levels drawn, ask for a D2 or a D3 level at the doctor. Most of the time it will show you how vitamin D deficient that you are. So there are not a lot of vitamin D sources that come from plants other than mushrooms and different kinds of like cod liver oil and things like that. Mostly we get vitamin D from the sun. So vitamin D and vitamin B12 are probably two of the things that we definitely have to do supplements for, because it's not easy for us to get those things from food. In the summertime, I recommend we get as much sun as possible because it absorbs into our skin, and it actually increases our vitamin D level. What a lot of people don't know is that there is a diagnosis or a disease called rickets for children, and it's like kind of like when the children's bones don't really grow the way that they're supposed to do. And one of the best remedies for rickets is to take your child out into the sun butt naked for a few hours and allow them to absorb those rays from the sun on a daily basis. I have a family member this has happened for, and trust me, it will work for you. All right, last but not least, let's talk about vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 is definitely one of the things that we really cannot get from foods. You know, really can't get it from foods, really can't get it from any type of plant-based source other than fortified like milks and cereal, which means that they just add it, you know, back to the milk or to the cereal. We have to take a supplement. You know, there's supplements in like Whole Foods and Walgreens and, you know, different health food stores. You can find a vitamin B supplement, vitamin B12. And deficiency in vitamin B12 can cause tremors, anxiety, fatigue, depression, anemia, numbness, dizziness, and blurred vision. So those are some of the side effects from not having B12. And you know, I just want to say lastly at the end of this video, we have accepted the fact that when we get older that we're supposed to have like all of these aches and pains and things like that, that they just come naturally with getting older. When truth be told, those aches and pains not only come from bad diet, but it comes from lack of vitamins and nutrients. So with that being said, everybody, if you have to watch this video again, please watch it again, take notes, that or inbox me, you know, call me, those of you who have my number, and we can walk through this all over again. But no excuse once again to go on a plant-based diet. Stop listening to all the myths of where do I get this and that from. I just gave you some facts. See you later.